Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Last time we learned about the use reducer, building a sweet to-do list with clean state logic. If you missed it, go check out how we make that happen. Today we're diving into the callback hook, useCallback, which is all about optimizing performance in your React apps. So let's get started. So what's the callback hook? useCallback. Okay, you can see here we have two pictures, one for the use callback and one for the use memo. The callback memo is the function, and the memo use memo is the value. But we will learn about the use memo later. In today's lesson, we just learn about the use callback. So use callback is a hook that memos functions, meaning it keeps them from being recreated on every render. Okay, every render, if you just put a function, just define a function inside the component, especially inside the functional component, that function will be recreated every time the component re-render by something change, some state change, or something like that will make the function be created. And if the function created again, the thing that refer to that function will be also be created, be re-rendered, and maybe it will lead to a loop forever and make your UI freezing. Okay, that is the worst thing we can get. So use callback locks in your function, so it only changes when specific dependency. Okay, dependency A or B here. Just like you affect dependency or array. So how does it work? You pass a use callback, a function here, and a dependency array. It returns a memoized version of this function, which stays the same across renders. Useless the dependencies here change. It's perfect for passing callbacks to child components or effects. Okay, so let's create an example so you can see in more detail. All right, let's open your Visual Studio, and let's create a new component, a new file, and put the name counter. Okay, counter.takes, and this we will create something. Let's create a action button. So okay, this action button have action callback and the label. Okay, and we need to define the type of the on action in the label, because we are using the type. On action is a function, okay, with void, and the label is a string, and this is an array functional. And inside this, I will log by using the console the label button rendered. Okay, so every time if the action button be rendered, we will see this log inside the console log. So we can know whether the action button is rendered or not. Okay, and finally we just return a view for this action button. It's just a button with the label, and don't forget to put the on click callback, and for this one we just pass the on action for this. All right, and now just create the counter component. This counter has a state with the count. Okay, with the count, so we can create the action for increase the count. So we can see the UI change, use state with the initialize value 0, and we also have, okay, this use state need to be import from React. Okay, and we also have the another count, order count, and set order count. Could use state and also from 0. And now we create a memo is callback increment count. This is the method. Okay, use callback. We use the use callback hook to memorize the function inside here, and we also put the dependency here. So if here is empty array, so this means this increase count is created just one time in the first rendering. Okay, and inside this we just do something like set count with the previous plus 1. Okay, so previous is just the current value of the count, and we use the array here to create an expression to change the current value by the current value with a unit. Okay, and now let's create the UI. Just return the div, a pair of div, and inside this I just put a title counter. I will show the count, and then the action button and this action button have the on action is increase count. Okay, and the label add the count, and I also create another button with the on click equal, just call set order count previous with previous plus 1, and this is the order count, or with also order count value here, and export this counter component, and go back to the app, just add the counter in here to text. Alright, let's run it. Alright, let's open the console. Expect when I add count. Oh yeah. It still show the add count button re-render. This means the action button still re-render every the UI render. I think we missed something here. Okay, in the action button here, we should use the memo for this action, and here memo, and import it from the React. Okay, so you just use callback for the component is not enough. We need to add the memo for the action button here. Alright, so now you can go back to the example and refresh. Okay, you see in the first time you can see the add count button render appear here, but when I click on the add count or order count button here, you see that no more re-render for the action button appear here. Okay, so that is the example for using the useCallback. And if you have any question, please comment below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.